My name is Richard, and this is my co-host.
Hey guys, I'm David.
And we have a special kind of, a chit-chat kind of episode today.
So what are
we doing today, David? I realize I have no idea how I'm introducing this. We didn't talk about this, but yeah, what are we doing today?
So today we're basically, I think everybody knows that the start of is it the fourth phase now for MCU?
Isn't the phase-wise?
Phase-wise, or the next phase of the
Yes.
MCU is starting off with none other than WandaVision. And with the first two episodes being released, or they released last Friday, we're just gonna dive into that and see our takes on those first two episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, right off for me, it's kind of all over the place, but I'm liking it.
Oh, you are? Okay. I thought it was, it's like I didn't get to watch it until like a couple of hours before we start recording. So it's been like, 3-4 days since it's been released. And I've been trying my best not to watch or see any spoilers, because it's all over the internet right now. But I thought it was very underwhelming for what I thought it would be. I'm like, oh, these are your first two episodes. I'm like, I thought it would be fun. Like, you kind of like see or hear, again, spoilers alert for this episode, for WandaVision. Like, yeah, go watch it and come back. Go watch the first two episodes and come back and you will hear it. But yeah, this is your first and final warning.
Yes.
All right. There's that mystery. What's going on? Is she under captive? Who's in the radio? Like, why do you see?
Right.
Why is everything in black and white? Why do you see color exclusively? There is that mystery. But I thought, if this wasn't Marvel, I don't think I would continue watching it. I wouldn't be actively watching it. I'll just watch it once it all comes out and someone told me I have to watch it.
And I think you bring up a great point. And now, for what the show is, I think it's, as a standalone, it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to end up being it's going to be a good show. But I'm glad you brought up that point where I feel like the large marketing aspect of this is that it's supposed to tie into the multi-universe and the whole what is that? The new Doctor Strange movie and the next Spider-Man movie.
It's going to be crazy. But
we're
we're Disney fans, we're Marvel fans. Of course, we know that in context. But as a layman, anyone watching for the first time, I'm I don't know how interesting this would be.
Right. No, I definitely see that. It's like I said, it is all over the place, and it is one of those where you just kind of gotta pay attention to.
Yeah.
But even when you pay attention to, it's only been 2 episodes, so clearly not everything's there. For us to really
it is
out.
Very cute though. Wanda and Vision clearly have chemistry. They're really fun. They're great actors. One of the Olsen, and I forgot I don't know the real names in real life. The actors.
The Olsen twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
No, they're she's an Olsen, right?
Oh no, I know her. Oh, I thought you were saying that she was a sister of them, but that's Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen, and who's Vision? What's his name? He's one of my favorite.
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, they're both great actors, and they nail it, and this great casting, Kitty from the 70s shows in this movie, this series, which I love to it's amazing.
Oh yeah, that she was in it.
I was so happy about seeing it. Oh, that's perfect, and just it's really cute, it's really nice. But I'm David, I feel there's only 6 episodes in this, and there's no way it's not going to end tragically.
No, I don't think so. I mean, as a Marvel fan, reader of the comics, this clearly is taking a lot of inspiration from what is are you familiar with the House of M storyline?
It's pretty you want to give the audience members kind of a brief summary of what it is, not too much details, of course.
Right. So for the non-comic book readers, House of M is a storyline in the Marvel universe where Scarlet Witch had pretty much lost everything, lost her children, and she kind of goes off on the deep end, and she goes on a psychotic bender and she ends up creating her own reality to recreate her children, her family, and the way that she wants to see it. So with that in mind, you can clearly see where this WandaVision is kind of taking that inspiration from.
Exactly. And it looks like she's manipulating everything in this world, and she's clearly controlling everything and everyone. It's really interesting to see. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool that you see you see Wanda just like with this power up, like okay, she can do more than just lift up things in red hue and red lights.
Right.
But like she's like
Right.
creating things out of nothing, and just like, oh wow, that's really interesting to see her with this power up.
Yeah, and from like the way that they're able to market this, the way that they're describing how it's gonna be, I'm like more excited for the end of it because like that character from Thor, Kat Dennings,
Yeah.
the girl that Kat Dennings plays,
Mhm.
she's supposed to come back. So I'm like curious, like is she supposed to be the same girl, right? She's
Yeah, I
supposed to play
believe
the same
so.
character?
And also one of the children from Captain Marvel was supposed to appear in this too.
Oh, but she's supposed to be the black friend in that first episode.
Exactly.
So, but she's supposed to be like a older version
Yeah.
of that
Mhm.
Captain Marvel girl, and then also on top of that, Randall Park's supposed to be coming in.
So it's like really interesting what's going on.
So exactly, like we're like hinted at like the part where like Wanda's kind of stuck in somewhere. So like Marvel or Disney does this good job of like tugging our strings.
you want to know more. Like, I mean, I want to hear your pitch, David. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is going on? What's gonna happen? There's 4 more episodes. What are they gonna do in these 4 episodes?
No, I mean,
Is that too much to ask?
No, I mean, I've been thinking about it since I was watching it, so like it's not too much, but whew. Well, I think clearly like she's been captured. I think she's been captured by somebody.
Exactly.
I think that's
right.
the
I
obvious
have that
part.
feeling too.
And like almost in the same manner like that she was captured in from like Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
Her original storyline where she was like held captive and then she was like what
Forced
was it,
to have
like,
these
tested
powers,
on. Yeah. So I think she's in that same type of scenario. Obviously I think there's some ties to those remember the scene with that red helicopter that came in and then where the beekeeper came in.
Exactly.
Like there's that something with that organization is clearly doing something with her and they're the ones controlling that aspect of it. By the end of it, I think she's probably held captive somewhere. Her energy source is being taken because she's also in that MCU, I believe she's supposed to be in an Infinity Stone source.
Yeah.
Like that's where she got her powers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can see that some evil organization with clearly seeing the power of the stones from the events of Endgame and Infinity War, like they're gonna try to extract this out of her. But in the meantime, they're putting her in this like, what do you call it?
A chamber or something.
Comatose state.
So this is all in her mind. It's not
all in her mind.
She's not actually creating a reality.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So I mean, I think Vision is he's definitely dead.
So in
my mind.
All in her imagination. It's all figments of her imagination.
I think so. And like you could see even with those like little those commercials that you see.
Oh yeah, with like Hydra watch or
the watch
Tony
and
Stark.
like the Stark Toastmaster, like those little things. I mean, but that's such a general take on it. Specifics wise, I don't know how or where it would go.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of it, I think she might fall off on the deep end and it's just gonna create this giant tear in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where we're gonna pick up in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I mean, so you think there's some overwhelming there's this bad guy involved, some bad people involved.
Absolutely.
I was thinking like, oh, that's probably where they're going, but I thought like it'd be so much more interesting if Wanda's the bad guy the whole time. If she, just like in the House of M, she's the one causing all the troubles. Maybe she just went crazy and really sad and just lived in an empty town and she just created everything in her own imagination. So like she is the bad guy and people around her are trying to get in to stop her, but like they can't because of her overwhelming powers. So in the end, it's not a bad organization, but maybe Shield and other people are trying to examine it. Like who was on the radio? Do you think it was Clint?
No, I think that was Randall Park.
Oh, it was Randall Park. Okay, maybe like they're trying to communicate.
Right, like communicate with her. Or actually, maybe that might be it. Maybe she is in a comatose state, but like she's so deep into it by the time that people find her that like she's not able to snap out of it, and like they're trying to talk to her.
Yeah, I think she's fully aware what she's doing, and she's just causing hell around her.
Oh, you think she's aware, but she doesn't want to
No, she's in
admit
complete
it.
denial. Like she, like, when in the last episode when she sees that beekeeper come out of the sewer, which I have no idea what that's about, but maybe no, she says rewind and rewinds everything. I think
That's right. That's right.
yeah, I think someone literally just like maybe someone walked in from the forest that's a beekeeper and saw her, and she just rewinded everything. So like she's like going away. She has complete control of this environment, but in deep denial.
Oh man, I mean,
It could go anywhere, dude. Maybe you and I are
it
both
could go
right
anywhere
somehow, but
who knows? Who knows? I mean, what are some things that you do want to see as a fan? Do you look forward to or hope you can catch in this series?
I know that like every episode is like a different decade in TV show, which I think is a very interesting concept.
That's actually that's why I want to watch this.
Exactly.
Like the way that they're taking all these sitcoms and just playing with it. Because I love that little detail of how they're playing it, because I think it plays to the storyline of like the MCU's version of Scarlet Witch being stuck in the Avengers room, and she's always watching TV.
Yeah.
Like she was always watching TV from what I remember, or like she always had the TV on, and that's what she'd do. So like her drawing, like this whole series drawing off from that, her experience from that. I think that's why I appreciate this world so much.
Oh, for sure. It's a good little like a really nod to TV history.
Right.
You know? I think one thing I'm looking forward to is like her going to like kind of present day time TV shows and like kind of see like a mockumentary. Like I think we see clips of that like in the trailer. So like
right, like they're doing like
an interview.
Going into the Modern Family take on it, and
that
like
kind of feel. I'm like, oh, that'd be really interesting to see. What about you, David? What are you looking forward to?
me, I'm hoping that we can just kind of catch a better glimpse of like where Wanda's powers. Like you said, like everything that we've seen up until now is more so about Wanda just being this witch, I guess, who with like just red lights powers. She could lift things up, move things around, and occasionally she from Age of Ultron she can mess with minds, but like it was very basic.
It's very
vague. Very vague, and like it wasn't like clear like how powerful she really is. And I think hopefully I'm hoping that we can see more of her powers, more of what she can do.
What do you
think?
Oh, I was gonna ask, what do you think are the consequences of this happening? Like you said, this is gonna build up to the next Doctor Strange, the next Spider-Man. Like, what is gonna happen? Like, what are the do you think mutants are gonna show up?
I think so.
Right?
I think so. This gives them that entryway. Though I think the only way for Feige and MCU would have been successfully able to bring in bring in mutants is like through some type of multiverse scenario.
Oh, for sure.
Like
I think it'd be super interesting that way.
Yeah, because like I don't think you can introduce mutants just as like, oh, these people were born with these powers.
They were always there, but no one noticed.
Yeah. So like I don't think that would have played out.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping like this would be a start for like them to like bring in the X-Men, like maybe start hinting at Magneto with the ties to like Scarlet Witch, or like even Polaris with her ties to Scarlet Witch, and like just like those characters at first.
I think more than anything, what we'll see, I think X-Men we'll see later on, but I think the first people we'll see is Fantastic Four, like because they're all about time travel and space and all that hoo-ha, and I feel like Wanda opening this like will cause them a way for them to Fantastic Four to travel and be stuck on our universe or something like that.
So actually, I think we're gonna start dipping into other theories and fun stuff down the road for this MCU with this. But like before we go off into that, what would you rate this first 2 episodes for the series?
On our repitch rating system.
Yes, like our first look,
Oh yeah.
first look rating for this.
So we can go all the way up to 4 thumbs or -4 thumbs, right? In our rating system.
Yes,
I would give this 0 thumbs.
0 thumbs so
Yeah,
far.
I have
Okay.
no expectations, but like, I honestly hope my heart gets broken in the end of this. That's the only way. Like, I want them to do like a Mandalorian heartbreak for me. Mandalorian
okay.
season 2, like, oh shoot, I wasn't expecting this to be this good, and just slaps me across the face and tell me like, no, this is amazing, you fool. But 0 right now. That's my first look.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. I do want to give it the first thumbs up.
Okay.
It's just because of like.
You're playing it safe, David.
No. I'm not giving it though. I'm not
Oh,
giving
okay,
it.
okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, David, there's no
But I
problem.
do, because I do want to give it. I feel like ultimately, baseline by the end of it, we're gonna end up giving it at least a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, maybe like 2 thumbs up the most.
Right. But right now, like you said, like I don't know what it is at the moment. I'm just enjoying it. So it's just kind of like I still want to. I want to see what else there is.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. So it's 0. This first look in WandaVision is 0 thumbs up for us.
I guess. Yeah. I guess it's 0 for now. It's still pending.
Yeah.
I guess to be more clear.
There's 6 episodes, and we'll see if they can make something out of this.
So I mean, I think this is the fun part. Now we're gonna jump in because you brought up the whole idea with Fantastic Four.
We're
and I
gonna go just deep into the Marvel.
Yeah,
dumps.
we're
Okay.
gonna start pitching our future phases for this MCU.
By the way, this is Phase 4. This is WandaVision is like the beginning of Phase 4, I believe.
Right. All right. So, with that being said, you mentioned that you wish that WandaVision would somehow tie into Fantastic Four or like start hinting at it. Like,
Yeah, like
how would you think that would be possible? Like, what in your vision of it?
I believe in the House of M, she gets to a point, like spoiler alert to the comic, but like she says like there's no more mutants, and it kind of like wipes out like most of the mutant populations in the world, or something like that. And like I want her to kind of believe, like kind of almost do that, where like her saying something insanely bold, like no more heroes or like no more conflict, like something really crazy, where like it's almost like like you can't even fix it. It's just like some weird stuff. Like, or something, I want Vision back, and like she can't get Vision back in this universe, so she has to almost steal him out of another universe, and maybe that's how like this gaping hole comes out. Then like, oh man, who's the Korg? Not Korg, and he's a Fantastic Four villain. He's the time traveler guy.
Kang.
Kang the Conqueror like starts realizing this, and he's like angry at that, and that's when we're starting to like see who he is, because like I know that he's gonna be in the next Ant-Man movie, I believe, right?
Yes. He's supposed to be the is he the villain, or they're
He
just
might
like
be the
tying
villain,
him in?
or he's definitely in it for one way or another.
Yeah.
So maybe like we may not see him, but we might not see what he's like, but maybe we will see we'll see a Daniel's version of him, the back of his head. Like I think that's honestly what it might be like. Yeah.
Actually, do you happen to know, is Kang the Conqueror supposed to be the next big bad? Is he supposed to be the next Thanos?
I don't know if he is, but like he would make the most sense. I think it should honestly be Doctor Doom, because that'd be great.
I think so too. I think he is the best villain.
Oh, for sure. He's one of the
in Marvel.
best.
Yeah.
We should have a discussion in Marvel villains. Well, that's a great topic. DC and Marvel villains for a retrospective.
Yes, absolutely. But I think Doom, I'm glad that they're coming out with Fantastic Four.
I cannot wait.
But I'm upset that they're not doing a Doom movie first. I think they should be doing that.
Or a prequel to a
or like it should be Doom introducing the Fantastic Four, not
great.
Fantastic Four introducing the.
'Cause in the movie series they have never done Doom justice.
No, definitely not. And the fact that his main adversaries are the Fantastic Four, I feel like it does not help
does not
his
do him justice, because like
at
he's like
all.
almost in the same line as I don't want to say Thanos, but he's up there. He's one of the like.
If anything, you could argue that he's better than that. In one of the comic lines, he kills Thanos. He destroys him. He has god powers. Like he gets to that point.
You're talking
like,
about that, but yeah, this is like a whole conversation. But like he should be. I think Kang was like not knowing anyone knows him that well. He's a time traveler. I think he's like a good like foil of like what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But like even like if not Doctor Doom, they might bring Galactus. Because I feel like that could be something they're going for.
That's like that would be fun. That
Yeah.
would be a very fun, but it's also very tough
It's very
because
tough.
he's so one-dimensional.
He is.
He's like there's not much to him. He's literally his only function is to walk around and eat planets. Like that's
So like Doctor Doom would be the best person for this.
right. And I
He would be the next
100%
Thanos,
agree.
and he would have to. I would imagine him creating his own league of villains.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like that's what
Interesting.
it will be like. Like that's where you add like Venom. That's where you add like every other like bad guy hero that's actually substantially evil, and like beat beat the Justice League in creating the Injustice League base almost.
Oh man. Speaking of villain teams, do you think we'll catch glimpses of are we going to get the Sinister Six coming up?
Oh,
you think?
in the Spider? Oh, are we gonna really open the door to Spider-Man? Because the Spider-Man door, the room that Spider-Man in right now is insane. I don't think you every week you.
It
it's
is
crazy.
Yeah, there's something new with Spider-Man.
Like-
I don't know what to believe anymore. Like at this point I'm just like forget it. Like
David, we gotta save this conversation, that Spider-Man conversation. I want to wait until like we have a release date for the movie. Let's wait to the first trailer of Spider-Man,
right.
then let's start
right.
talking. Because like,
Cuz like I mean, we just read that news about Daredevil being
Yeah.
in it. Charlie Cox
which
is
is
Daredevil.
crazy, and I'm like,
Which
Tobey
is-
Maguire's in it, and like what Andrew Garfield's in it. I'm like, who's not? Jamie Foxx is in it. I'm like, first of all, like how Disney, how dare you play with my emotions like this? And like. Last week Disney broke me with all their live action, but now somehow Disney has resuscitated me and is now telling me there's so like no, there's hope in the future of Disney with Marvel, and just like it's ridiculous.
And then there's some other crazy rumors going around. I love this rumor. I think it's supposed to be for Doctor Strange though, not for Spider-Man.
Okay,
There's rumors going around that Leo is supposed to take on a role as Spider-Man. In like a multiverse?
I've heard that. That's
Because he was first looked at for the role of
Yeah.
the original Spider-Man.
which is like such a fan nod, and I'm like, that's insane. And like at this
Yeah.
point, I don't know what actor wouldn't want to participate in one way or another into it,
right.
even if it's
I
not
mean-
like huge.
The thing is like with Leo though, with Matt Damon, when you hear that news, it's believable because he's already done those
Yeah.
cameos. With Leo, you've never seen him really do anything like that. Like where he's like cameoed for fun in somebody like a Friends movie or
I
like,
see.
you know.
I mean, to be honest, like we saw Brad Pitt in Deadpool 2, which I thought was the funniest thing. He was the invisible guy.
That's true. That is true.
Like-
And I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything before that where Brad has
Exactly.
really done.
And it
Type
might
of
not be.
cameo work.
I don't know if it's gonna be a speaking role, but like we might just see him in the background. We might just see him as like Doctor Strange is like waving his hand with all the multiverse, and we see Leonardo DiCaprio for a second as Spider-Man. Honestly, that's probably what we will see.
Either way, the things that they're coming out with for all these
It's gonna be crazy.
multiverse stuff.
You know, as both people say, like there's no way there's no way Marvel is gonna like do something as amazing as Infinity War or Endgame, but like if you play your cards right, like really play your cards right, they could just go crazy.
No, yeah. I mean, for every step, every movie, the goal is to up it, you know, every
Exactly.
time. So, like, that's what you got to expect out of it.
And
And,
like now they're like entering that, now they're like putting a strong foot in with the TV stuff, with WandaVision, Falcon, and Winter Soldier.
and they're saying that with WandaVision,
Mhm.
the number of visual effects in that movie dwarfs what they used in Endgame. Like,
Really?
yeah,
That's
that's
so
the crazy part. So that's pretty interesting to see, and also like the way that they're, by the time that WandaVision's supposed to end, you get what is it, Winter Soldier and Falcon right afterwards.
Yeah,
So
Disney's making their Disney Plus streaming service look more viable.
no, yeah, and the fact that they're doing these like mini series rather than
The
these
whole
full length shows, much better.
Much better. I don't want to
take.
see 12 episodes of someone just dragging their feet.
Especially when because their whole thing with their MCU is that everything's supposed to tie in, and like the if they had made a longer TV show, I don't think it would have.
It wouldn't
People
work.
would have had they wouldn't have had the attention span like that.
That was the biggest issue with the Netflix deal with Marvel stuff, because it's like,
That's true.
it's fun. Like, yeah, Luke Cage and Daredevil was great, but like you don't really see them tie into the Marvel movies, like, or just a mention here and there, which is very
Yeah.
frustrating.
They like brush it off. You see it in like the backgrounds of
Yeah.
like the newspapers or like things like that. But then like you don't see that it's impacted that universe the same way that the movies impacted throughout. Like you see like in Far From Home, like how Avenger or not Far From not far. Oh, the first Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
Homecoming.
Homecoming, yes,
The intro where like Michael Keaton's characters like they lose their jobs because of that whole thing,
which is great.
which is great. Like that's like that's the ripple effects from all the way back in like Avengers.
And
Like
totally understand why he hates Tony Stark's guts.
right. So like that's like the great thing about the MCU, the way that they're able to tie in all that and like bring everything into the broader picture.
It's honestly just outstanding what they're doing.
They really are, and it's big ups to Kevin Feige.
Yeah, you
Feige.
said it right, Feige.
Feige. Like
Fiji.
he's
Like Fiji,
Fiji?
yeah. Kevin Fiji, like the water.
Kevin Fiji. We're gonna get so much hate
So as good props to Kevin Fiji for what?
for just being such a fan, doing this the right way, and
yeah,
and just really catering to the audience.
he does such a good job, and it makes me so frustrated, David, because gun to my head, honestly, I'm a bigger DC fan than a Marvel fan, and I'm so annoyed how DC is not like, they should have as easy as a job hitting home runs. Because like honestly,
I think so.
Superman is so much more recognizable than Tony Stark, but somehow they made Tony Stark such a lovable character.
No, and again, yeah, like I think DC has so many more recognizable characters, standalone characters that have so much more marketability. Superman, Batman alone, like I can't think of any standalone hero in the Marvel universe before the movies came out, where
Only Spider-Man.
they really like
Only
Spider-Man was the only
That's
guy.
it. Like if people would not think it is any difference, but now like a regular person knows what a Marvel superhero is. Like they can name you all
Right.
of them. Like no one knows who Thor is. Like who cares what Thor is? Like now it's like no, everyone loves Thor.
Right. And like even before all these movies like Iron Man, Thor, all that, like you just knew them in passing. Like they weren't heavy hitters like
They were all like
Batman.
B-list, maybe A- list heroes.
Right. So do you think I think Kevin Feige would kill it if he just became producer of the DC universe.
I'm just waiting for the day more like Disney says, "Oh, we bought Warner Brothers. We bought DC Comics." Like I'm just waiting for that day, and we're gonna end up seeing Marvel versus DC. Maybe when we're in our 40s and 50s, that's that happen.
Oh my gosh.
And I will cry as an adult. But I'm telling
The
you, David, as a prophet of media, I shouldn't say that. Disney is gonna take over our lives shortly and soon.
I believe it. I believe it.
We're gonna be ruled by 3 sectors: the government, Amazon, and Disney. I'm just letting you know right now.
The thing is, you say that Disney buying DC, like I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah, it really
It's
isn't.
not. Like if they bought Disney, can you imagine what Disney World would look like? Like there's a Marvel Land and a Disney.
Oh my gosh!
Right? Like literally, like
crazy.
you can't like you just like give them all your money.
There should be no reason for them to lose any money at all, ever.
No, like hit them with any pandemic and like no, they'll still make money somehow.
Right? Because they're the only ones pumping out content at that
Exactly.
point. But you're bringing up a very interesting point that I kind of wanted to tap into actually real quick before the end of our show.
Yeah.
Talking about studios buying new licenses, and I guess recently we saw that MGM, one of the biggest Hollywood studios out there,
Yeah.
one of the first ones out there, if even started,
their logos of the roaring lion.
right, and one of the biggest catalogs in in Hollywood, and they have when you're buying MGM, I feel like you're buying movie history at
for
that point,
sure.
Hollywood history.
Like we were looking through their catalog, and they have like
What is it, like
amazing
The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind,
Chucky,
James Bond
the
franchise, like
Chucky
all those.
franchise, the Chucky franchise.
I see where your head's at.
Okay, yeah. It was like I made a joke with David with you last week of like, yo, like Netflix should just buy MGM for like what was it, 5 billion?
So right now, I think the asking price is $5 billion.
Which like Netflix can't afford, but like I think the only person that can actually afford that is maybe Amazon.
So actually,
Are there any?
Amazon probably just right off the bat. I think Amazon.
Yeah. I would want Netflix to buy that because I desperately want a Chucky franchise series because this is one of my favorite series. Like I already figured out that if you watch all the Chucky movies in one sitting, it's a little over 11 hours. And when I turn 30, that's my plan. I'm gonna sit down with my friends and family and force them to watch 11 hours of Chucky with me.
Oh man. But I think there's a few other studios that could probably be in the running for this. What we said, Amazon. I mean, Disney would be a scary thought. But
I don't think Disney would. I don't think
I don't think they would either. But just because of the fact that they're Disney, you just never know.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense for them to. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, just from their own. Actually, I don't know. Maybe having all those movies in their catalog, you don't think they would be?
If you put all that movies into the Disney Plus catalog, that would be insane.
Right? They just open up even a bigger library for anything, and people are already going on there for their current content. That brings in the people that don't want their current content, that love love these old content. So I mean that's that kind of thought on that side. And also the interesting thing is MGM is one of the last few, I think, standalone studios in Hollywood.
Oh wow, that's really depressing. Is it really?
So it's like if you look at like Paramount, I think it's owned by another company.
Mm-hmm.
Comcast owns something, and
it's owned by a couple of companies. Yeah,
right. AT&T is the one who handles Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're all under another like parent company, and MGM happened to be one of the last ones where I think they were just kind of like on their own, but looks like it's coming.
That's coming to
that time. Yeah.
That's such a depressing thing to think about.
I think. So where do you think that MGM would be best suited for then?
Honestly, I feel
you
like
say Netflix is the best place.
But like it has a pretty good list of horror stuff and just random things. I feel like it could utilize that the best. I feel like Netflix would fit the best, but I can totally see Amazon just picking that up. Like how much did it buy Lord of the Rings for?
I mean, I knew that they like threw in $1 billion for that series.
But again, like you and I say $5 billion is nothing, but like it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
but I mean, to Amazon, it must be nothing.
Yeah, it's just a quarter. It's just like it's a day's check. It's just like I feel like Amazon will most like if. But the sad thing is I don't know if anyone will buy it. That's the thing for that price.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. But I think it's pretty safe for any studio to come and pick up that kind of catalog.
Yeah, it's a pretty good investment. But yeah.
Let me. Sorry, I just wanted to pull up some of the movies on MGM's catalog real quick.
Mm-hmm. I believe the Matrix movie's on it. Am I right?
Matrix, probably. Let me see. That might have been Miramax.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, but their catalog is huge. I'm like in their wiki link and like I'm just scrolling.
Yeah,
I'm still
scrolling. I'm still stuck in the 1900s. What year was Matrix? But I mean,
2000s? 1990.
I mean, but clearly, just from us just scrolling through this Wikipedia page, you could see the number of movies that whoever buys the studio would be getting and would have access to and would be able to.
Oh, they have the James Bond series.
Oh yeah, I mean, James Bond is the 5th highest grossing movies franchise of all time, so that alone right there is moneymaker for anybody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have the Hobbit. They have Hop.
They have the.
Oh, David, they have this huge hit, Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh man, actually, we should be doing eventually. I think we should be doing an episode on DreamWorks animation.
We really can.
That's down the road, though.
Yeah, maybe when a new DreamWorks movie comes out, we can do that for a retrospective, just DreamWorks in general, because such an interesting history of how it was established and where it is now.
I think they're just underrated.
Oh,
because they went toe to toe with Disney at a time when Disney was coming up much quicker and doing innovative things.
And granted, you can't really compete with Disney, but honestly, I think DreamWorks can.
Absolutely. Like just from like I remember, what is it, like Prince of Egypt, Joseph and Technicolor Robe, and Anastasia. Those 3 movies in particular from DreamWorks, I always confused them with Disney movies because of how good they were and how similar in style it was.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
so
maybe you can repitch Boss Baby, because the Boss Baby sequel is coming out in September.
Oh yeah, that one. I've never seen that series, but then that sequel. That sequel though, it's supposed to be about the babies have grown up and then they become babies again or something.
I don't know, but the first movie is really bad, so I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Oh, did you see it? You've never seen it?
I saw the first Boss Baby.
Yeah.
It is literally a nightmare-fueled movie.
So Alec Baldwin he can't help save it?
I don't think Alec Baldwin can save anything. I feel like he's one of those actors that are overrated, and the last good thing I feel like he really was in was Dirty Rock.
No, you're right. I only know him as Jack Donaghy.
Exactly, and I feel like he was just playing himself at a certain point.
What about his Donald Trump on SNL?
Again, he's just playing a different version of him. That was pretty great. It's one of those things, he was born to play him.
True. All right. Oh man, this episode is coming close to an end right now.
I mean, where can they find us, David?
Always find us on our Instagram and our Facebook, drp.repitch, or shoot us an email at drpitchit@gmail.com.
Yeah, and hope you guys stay tuned because we upload episodes every Wednesdays and Fridays. Please follow us, rate us, berate us, and please do share us.
And another quick shout out to our good friend Joe Yu, Mr. Pandamix on SoundCloud, for our intro music and outro music, and just our music in general for our entire Repitch history. So if you're interested in listening to his music, listening to more of his music, his information should be in our descriptions below.
Yeah. And the quote to end our episode, out of context quote from Nicolas Cage from the movie The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Well, today's your lucky day because I bought an eagle. That's it. We're ending it there.
Oh my gosh.
See you guys later.
I forgot about that movie. Have a good one, you guys.